If you're staring at your calendar trying to figure out how on earth you're supposed to breastfeed, pump, work, sleep, and be a human from 0 to 6 months, you're not crazy. This is a lot. But the fact that you're trying to plan ahead is exactly what's going to make it work. In this video, I'm going to walk you through simple breastfeeding and pumping schedules for working moms from birth to 6 months, so you have a realistic plan instead of just hoping it somehow works out. We'll cover what to focus on in the 0 to 3 month window, how to set up a workday pumping schedule when you go back, and how to adjust as your baby grows without losing your mind. I'm Amber Ginn, a board-certified lactation consultant and the founder of the Latch. Our team supports working moms every day who want their babies to get breast milk and still want to keep their jobs, their mental health, and maybe even a little bit of sleep. Every family is different, every job is different, and every baby is different. So what I'm going to give you are templates and principles you can adjust. And if something here doesn't fit your reality, that just means we tweak the plan for you. Like most things in motherhood, this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Let's start with the first 3 months, because what happens here makes everything after easier. 0 to about 3 months, your baby is basically a tiny alarm clock that goes off every 2 to 3 hours. In this stage, your main goals are teach your body, hey, this baby is here, we need milk. Learn how your baby likes to feed and protect your mental health and recovery as much as possible. For most families who want to breastfeed, this looks like feeding at the breast on demand, which often works out to about 8 to 12 feeds in 24 hours. Limiting long stretches without any breast or pump stimulation, especially overnight in the early weeks. If you know you'll be going back to work around 6 to 12 weeks and you want your baby to take bottles of express milk, here's a gentle approach. Around 4 weeks, you can start pumping a few times a week to build a small stash. You don't need to start bottles yet. Then about 1 to 2 weeks before you actually go back, start practicing bottles. It's early enough that your baby gets used to it and late enough that breastfeeding is well established. Have someone else give the bottle so your baby learns bottle is bottle, you are breast. And a realistic stash is about 2 to 3 days of milk. You don't need a freezer full of bags. Now let's talk about what most of you are here for, pumping at work. I'm going to give you a sample schedule for a pretty typical 8-hour workday. And then we'll talk about how to bend it around your real life. Let's say you work roughly 9 to 5. You have a commute on either side. Your baby is around 3 to 4 months when you go back. Here's one simple framework. Morning at home from 6:30 to 7. Breastfeed your baby when they wake up. Optionally, pump right after that feed or from the other side if your body tolerates it to build a little stash. This is not mandatory. It's just a common time people like. At work, aim for 3 pump sessions in an 8-hour day if possible. For example, pump at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. Each session is usually around 15 to 20 minutes from the time the pump is on, plus a few minutes to set up and clean up, depending on your gear. And for the evening at home, as soon as you get home, breastfeed. Then feed at the breast on demand in the evening and at night. The idea is that over 24 hours, your body is still getting regular milk signals, just in a different pattern. If you work longer shifts or have a non-traditional schedule, the principle is the same. Try not to go longer than about 3 hours at work without either breastfeeding or pumping, especially in the first months back. Pump roughly as many times during your shift as your baby would have fed if you were together. And one side note, a lot of moms don't realize your insurance most likely covers a breast pump too. So if you don't have one yet, that's a benefit you've probably already paid for. Now, if we wanted to tie this all into a sample schedule from month 0 to 6, this is what it could look like. In the mornings before work, feed when your baby wakes up with the option to do a quick pump to build your stash. During work, when baby is around 3 to 4 months old, pump mid-morning, pump around lunch, pump mid-afternoon. After work/evenings, breastfeed as soon as you're home, breastfeed on demand before bed and overnight. As your baby gets closer to 6 months, they might stretch some feeds further apart, sleep longer stretches at night, start solids around 6 months, depending on readiness and your pediatrician's guidance. At that point, some moms are able to drop to 2 pump sessions at work and still maintain supply, or keep 3 pumps a day if they notice a big dip when they go down to 2. We care less about matching a perfect schedule and more about, is your baby growing well? Are you reasonably comfortable, not in constant engorgement or pain? And do you still feel like you can function as a human? If you're watching this and thinking, my job is weird, my shifts are long, my baby eats every 45 minutes, the schedule won't fit, you are exactly the kind of person we help. At the Latch Link, our team provides virtual breastfeeding support where we look at your work hours, your baby's patterns, your goals for breastfeeding and sleep, and then build a plan around that, not around some ideal. If you have Aetna, Anthem, Cigna, or Blue Cross Blue Shield, your insurance probably covers the service 100%. You can check your coverage and book a visit at the first link in the description. All right, let's talk about making this realistic. A few things I want you to hear very clearly. You might not be able to pump on the dot at the same time every single day, and that's okay. Think in ranges. For example, sometime between 9:30 and 10:30 instead of 10 o'clock exactly. Output will vary. Some sessions you'll get more, some less. Don't judge yourself based on one pump. What matters matters is the pattern over days, not one off day. Missing a session occasionally is part of real life. Get back to your normal rhythm as soon as you can and keep going. You're allowed to ask for what you need at work. Under the Pump Act, most employers are legally required to give you a reasonable break time and a private non-bathroom space to pump in. This is your right, and it is what keeps you and your baby healthy. If you share this schedule with your partner or support person, they can help protect those pump times and troubleshoot with you instead of you carrying it all alone. You might want to adjust your schedule if your baby is consistently not gaining as expected. We might add a feed or a pump. You're painfully full at certain times. We might shift timing. You're running short on milk for daycare bottles. We might tweak how often or when you pump. Your mental health is tanking from the current setup. We might incorporate formula or change your goals. Sometimes success means exclusive breast milk. Sometimes success means combo feeding so you can sleep enough to be safe at work. Sometimes success means changing your original plan, and all of that is totally okay. So big picture for breastfeeding and pumping as a working mom from 0 to 6 months, use the first 0 to 3 months to build supply and skills, not to be a 24/7 pumping robot. When you go back to work, aim for about 3 pump sessions in an 8-hour day and adjust based on your reality. Keep feeding at the breast when you're with your baby to protect supply and connection. If you want help turning this into a plan for your baby and your job, our team at the Latch link would love to support you. If you have Aetna, Anthem, Cigna, or Blue Cross Blue Shield, click the first link in the description to check your coverage in a couple of minutes and book a one-on-one virtual consult with one of our board-certified lactation consultants. We'll look at your schedule, your baby, and your goals and design a feeding and pumping plan that actually fits your life. If this video helped you feel even a little less overwhelmed about working and breastfeeding, hit subscribe and share it with another mom heading back to work. This is hard because it is genuinely demanding, not because of anything you're doing. You deserve real support, and you are doing something most people couldn't pull off.